Listen, ladies, we need to learn. We need to learn accountability.
Ooh. Whoa, whoa. Is this word coming out of your mouth?
Yes. If they were open to that, then that could help them be a little bit more softer.
Right.
Because, in order to be soft, you have to be self-aware and you have to be able to identify, like, what impact do I leave, when I come across people's paths or when I enter certain rooms. I just hear a lot of women just always blame, 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 blame. Alignment over approval.
Alignment over approval.
Alignment over approval. Absolutely. Like, outer influences may try to groom you to be a certain way or do a certain thing, show up a certain way. But what if that's not what's best for you? So what that is we are going to listen to our internal voice versus outer influences. That's alignment over approval. Pivots can be very powerful, but you should never pivot off of, not getting the approval that you wanted from somebody.
Yeah. Don't pivot out of pressures, outside pressures.
I love that. Don't pivot. Ooh, don't pivot out of pressure. I think it is important to be selfish to a degree. Your first responsibility is yourself. But think about being on an airplane, right? And they're going through all the instructions and the emergency exit is on your right. And make sure you keep your... And when your oxygen mask comes down, make sure you put your mask on first before you help the person next to you. Her over everything.
Right.
I got to make sure my oxygen mask is on first. So that I am, in the best space to help you.
The Highest Point Podcast. More than the pod, it's a lifestyle.
Yo, welcome to the Highest Point Podcast. This is a show for everyone who's willing to put in the labor to be greater to reach the highest point. Now, speaking about someone putting in that work, we have a very special guest in the building. She's not alone putting in work in business, but she's putting in work in one of the most important places. That's in herself, because that directly impacts everything around her to be greater. We have none other than the author of The Soft Life Reset, a 33-day journey back to her, Miss Brittany, Janele Garcia.
Yes!
What's happening? We up in here. How you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for the intro.
Absolutely. Hey, you doing your thing. I got to bring you in right. And I just saw some of the work you was doing, how you was speaking. I'm like, so many more people in addition needs to hear this. And I really respect what you got going on and appreciate it. But on this show, we like to focus in on the journey of our guests, Yeah. A lot of times people see the end result. They see you got to this place in your life and think that kind of happened overnight. But obviously by the title, Journey, that doesn't happen overnight. So, we want to talk to a little bit how you got there. So first I want to start off. Can you tell the people a little bit about, where you're from and what was your family dynamics of your household growing up?
Oh, wow. Okay, absolutely. Well, I'm from Bertie County, North Carolina, and it's so funny because we are so small on the map. We don't even say the city.
Right.
We just go ahead and just claim the whole county, right? Because you probably heard of the county before you heard of any of the towns or the cities. But Lewiston and Kelford is where I grew up in Bertie.
Wow.
Like that line.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I was raised in Bertie County, North Carolina. And it's just been an absolute journey, like coming from such a small town.
Right.
And, you think that you know everything. You think that you know what the world has in store. And then you go on to, bigger places and you realize, I don't know nothing.
Right.
I don't know nothing at all. And, just kind of relearning myself with being exposed to, so many new people, new experiences, it kind of made me realize, like, I don't know who I am outside of where I'm most comfortable. And it was important for me to do some self-discovery work to figure that out. And it brought me to this book.
Awesome. Well, that's very insightful, and I appreciate you giving that. When we on the beginning of your journey, what type of person were you in middle school? What type of girl you were? Because that's part of the journey. Like, you're a grown woman now.
Yeah.
What type of girl were you in middle school?
That I think about this all the time. And I just think I've always been the same. Like, I've always been just very goofy. I love to laugh. I've always been just a light, just always love, again, making people laugh, helping people. I've always loved to be a part of any extracurricular activity that I could. Yeah. But I've always been active. I've always been positive. I've always been goofy. I've always been creative. Yeah. And I've always been a leader in my own right.
Oh, wow.
I would say. Yeah.
That's awesome. What does that look like when you say a leader in your own right? Like, so like, because I know sometimes, even when we talk about the soft life, sometimes people may interpret it as, okay, you sitting back, you out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's not, some people may not put leadership in the forefront of that. Can a woman be in her soft life era and still be a leader?
I like to think so. I like to think that when women enter into their soft life era, that's probably where they exude the most sophisticated level of their leadership capability. Right? Because soft life, when people hear soft life, they think that means like luxury trips and, robes and designer and, that type of thing. But for me, it's beyond materialism, is a mindset. And when you've accomplished a certain level of peace, when you've accomplished a certain level of self-worth, self-love, and confidence, when you've accomplished a certain level of self-assurance, you have literally like elevated your capacity to lead, in my opinion, because you have probably achieved a certain level of emotional intelligence.
Absolutely.
At that point. So yeah, women can absolutely lead when they are in their soft life.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think she can lead at her best because I feel like a woman's softness is her power.
Exactly.
I was speaking to my wife to you a little bit off camera, but my wife, she's a boss lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's in the corporate space. She got many people that report to her. She got high responsibilities. But, when she comes home, she still shows her power in her femininity. She's not coming at me with masculine energy. She outside planting flowers and cutting petals and got the space just looking so, great. And when she speaks to me, she leads with that softness, and I don't think it will. Well, I know it wouldn't work if she led with something else. She can get so much more out of me leading with being in her soft life. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Because if she come at me like competitive, it don't work.
Come on. Say it for the women in the back. Women need to hear that.
Yeah.
I believe women really need to hear that because your femininity is your power as a woman. And it's something that is so divinely orchestrated and designed. And when you get to know yourself and you really own it, man, to your point, like life starts to feel easy.
Right.
Which equates to softness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I understand that. Now, I also had a question about, in the book, I see you speaking to, she didn't become someone new. She just needed to remember who she was before the world told her to be hard. Now, what does that pressure to be hard look like, and how does a woman interpret it to inject it in her lifestyle?
I love that. That's a great question. I would say, from my lens of life, the way that I grew up in survival mode. And for women who can identify with that, you're just figuring life out on the fly. And you can put a lot of pressure on yourself. You can feel just that pressure from, the outer layer of life because you are basically either you're being raised to be a certain way or you just have a certain vision for yourself. And on top of that, growing up in poverty, things really, like, you're really in survival mode. Life really feels heavy and hard. And, to have dreams when you grow up like that, it's tough because life feels like nothing is possible.
Yeah.
Life may even look like nothing is possible, but returning home to her, remembering who you are, is again that self-reassurance, that self-awareness, that self-love, that self-worth that invokes the reframing of your mindset.
Yeah.
No, it is possible.
Absolutely.
Because I know what I'm capable of. I know what I feel inspired by. I know what my vision is. And because I also am a believer in God, I know that God would never give me those things if it wasn't, out there for me.
Absolutely.
And just kind of, having that type of mindset, it helped me reframe and just reshape how I was looking at my life and what the possibilities were for me. And I just decided to look at the cup half full. And I think, everybody has that opportunity because we have the power to make choices, to decide. Yes. And it's about, exercising your free will and really owning that opportunity to make a decision. Yeah. Because the smallest decisions can have the biggest impact. And I just choose to believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So true.
Yeah. So that's true. Like returning home to her.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like you go out into the world and if you look a certain way or don't look a certain way, people will try to put you in a box of what you can do and what you can't do.
Right.
Right. And when you hear those things, or the more you become exposed to, just that outer layer of life, it can change, what's happening internally, what you feel like is real or what is possible. And I went through that.
Yeah.
For the majority of my life, honestly. And when I got to college, I really realized like I'm carrying the perception of Brittany that other people have put on Brittany. But now I have an opportunity to really show up as the realest, most genuine, most authentic version of myself.
Right.
And I deserve to give myself an opportunity to meet the highest version of myself.
Absolutely.
And that's my mission.
Right. Yes. So important. When you was talking about that, I relate to you coming from Berkeley County because I'm from Berkeley County. And then sometimes people can like, yo, you around so much hard or difficult. How can you even fathom having a mindset of soft life? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we go down the net. I grew up busting up wood. You know what I'm saying? Like all type of country stuff. I lived on a farm. So, it's just, it can be hard. So me thinking of a woman that see that, because my grandparents, my sister, they still work just as hard as the men. They just had different roles. And something like the thought of like, okay, how can she not feel that pressure to be hard? My sister, she's in the military. She's been in there over like 20 some years. So I know she got kind of like that mentality as well. But, sometimes I think it's important to, okay, take a step back and really not allow those pressures to impact you so much, because it can be. And
Absolutely.
For me as a father raising a daughter too, my daughter about to be 5.
Oh, wow.
How can I support her in that journey of, okay, instead of having to reset, already be on that path from the beginning to help save her some time?
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that question. That's probably the best question I think I've ever been asked.
Oh, wow.
I love that. And I'm going to have to reverse engineer the answer because, I didn't grow up with my father.
Oh.
So I can't speak from a place of, well, my dad did this for me and it helped me, in this way. I would speak from a place of what I wish I would have had.
Oh.
Right. And hopefully that will inspire you to, create your own way. But I feel like, first of all, fathers are incredibly important in any child's life, but, just as much as your son, your daughter too.
Absolutely.
Right? Because that is her first relationship with a man in her whole entire life. The first relationship that she's ever had with a man. It should come from the relationship with the father.
Right.
And I feel as though, when you have a relationship with your father, he should inspire healthy confidence in you. as his daughter, and obviously, positive affirmations, positive reinforcement, and just overall love and support. It really doesn't take much, but just those foundational things make all the difference in a little girl's life, I would imagine. Because again, I didn't have that, first person perspective on that. But I feel like if I would have those things come from my father, then, I probably would have felt the spirit of softness, as a child, and I wouldn't be, trying to build a bridge over, my trauma as an adult woman, in my 30s to get there. Grateful for the journey, but I think, having that from my father would have made a huge difference.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. And I even think about it too, because something important for me prior to me getting married to my wife, I wanted her, because she didn't have a relationship with her dad like that. And I saw there was an impact a little bit still lingering there. So before I wanted to get married to her, I said, I'm going to try to bridge some of that together. So I got on the phone with him. I set up a meeting with him, let him know some of the things that she told me about their relationship, and how, she had one of those stories about, standing there waiting on him to come when he said he would, and he never did. Even in adulthood, even with her being a boss, doing so many things, those things still impacted her. And I said, I wanted her to try to mend some of those things, get some closure on some of those things before we took that step, because I don't want that additional lingering there. You know what I mean? Wow. And I think that was so important. Even though it's still not the best now, he did actually make some steps, and I think that made a difference. And she said some things that she always wanted to say, and it really made a difference. And I could see some of those guards falling down after I took those steps to do that, And I think she gained a little bit more, respect for me. I'm like, oh, I'm not just listening to what you got to say. I'm taking action towards those things as well, because I think I can help aid a woman. I don't think it has to be all on her to get into her soft life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Like, one, she should absolutely take full ownership of it, no matter what's going on, no matter who's around.
Yeah.
But you know that you've chosen your partner well as a woman if your partner can contribute to, your softness.
Right.
That's when you've really chose well.
Right.
But even if you didn't have that, you should still take ownership of
absolutely
creating that, because I believe, you attract what you are.
Absolutely.
You are what you attract. So if you are already embodying that, then you should attract a partner who will complement that.
That is true.
If you're not already treating yourself in such a way, then how can your partner learn to honor you in that way? They don't even see an example of that coming from you. You don't even treat yourself soft.
Right.
So how do I even know what that looks like for you to be, getting mad, fussing with me,
right,
doing all of that when you don't even treat yourself? You don't even honor yourself in that way. Right? So, a lot of us are praying for things, but we're not really doing the work to align with it within ourselves first. And that's really where it starts.
Yeah.
God could give you that man that, treats you, in such a way where he's trying to create that soft life environment. But if you're not already treating yourself like that, you're going to feel like, oh, he corny, he a square, he this, he that, and you don't see the value in him.
Ooh,
and then you're going to treat him less than the king that he really is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could really keep going on and on.
Yeah.
Shout out to you and your wife, because y'all got it right. Y'all got it right.
It's so crazy. How did some of the foundational things that I think make a good man, somehow in our younger days, that was told to be corny?
Ain't that something? But that's what they do. If you realize, in my personal opinion, because I don't know it all, but I know a lot about a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So in my personal opinion, just in the grand scheme of life, most things that are good for us, they have been categorized or characterized to, be corny or bad, like even speaking proper, right?
Right.
Think about it. Like somebody who talked proper in our class growing up in Burt T. What is the number one thing that we would say I'm not even gonna look at you. You should be able to notice. Like, what's something that somebody would try to say about that person?
Like, you talking white?
Yes. You talking white. Why you talking white?
Like, what?
Why is speaking proper called talking white? And why is that even a bad thing?
Right.
Right? Or,
Call you square.
You corny, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody love to get in trouble. Everybody love to fight and stuff. If you don't want to fight, you corny, man. You whack. You scary. You a punk. You this, you that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I didn't
Even
smoke or drink,
foods.
and the ladies used to call me a square in college. Mm-hmm. Oh, you ain't gonna be no fun. Like, I'm like, so I gotta smoke or drink to have fun?
See?
That's weird.
That's weird. even with food, right? Like, think about being a kid. Mm-hmm. Growing up, you've seen so many movies and TV shows where kids refuse to eat their vegetables. So subconsciously, it programmed in your mind not to eat vegetables. They're nasty, but it's good for you.
Right.
And then in TV shows and movies, you see the kids candy.
Right.
And that's bad for you.
It's crazy.
It's so much
conditioning.
There we go.
It's a lot of conditioning. We were speaking about some of those pressures to be hard. I know you spoke about it a little bit when you got in college. Do you think in those college days when you felt the most pressure to have that hard life?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you're out there on your own.
I gotta pay my own bills. I gotta make my own decisions. I gotta sign my own name on a document. I gotta take on all the consequences of my actions now.
Right.
Like, yeah, I absolutely felt it even more in college because I was learning how to live for real. You know, like growing up, you got your parents really taking care of everything. Right. Like you hit that light switch, you never really anticipating the lights not coming on.
Right.
Because you don't have to be the one that has to be responsible for that bill every month. But in college, you know, because, you know, like you said, we from Bertie, and I know everybody, you know, there are people from Bertie who come from very, very, very great backgrounds and come from a great way of living. But, you know, for those of us who really struggled and came from poverty, like your parents more than likely didn't have a lot of money to send to you once you went off. So I really had to figure things out.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So like the pressure of, okay, one of 3 people in my family that has made it to college. Mm-hmm. I am the only person from, you know, Bertie County at this college. This college is bigger than my whole county.
Right.
You know, the head count here is, you know, bigger than, you know, where I'm from. Like, it was just so much of figuring it out, which creates pressure.
Right.
It's pressure that I'm putting on myself because I feel greatness within me.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my environment does not reflect that in this moment, I feel it.
Exactly.
And it's messing with me. It's bothering me.
Yep.
Right. And so I had a standard for myself always, no matter what I was going through. I always had a standard for myself. And that standard, you know, it naturally created some pressure.
Right.
Because it was pressure to, you know, be the person to, you know, save everybody, be the person to make it, you know, be successful in the family. Is pressure to, you know, be beautiful enough to, you know, for this. Is pressure to be smart enough to get good grades to graduate. Is pressure to, you know, be this type of person, be in these rooms.
Right.
It's so much pressure that I was putting on myself because I have the vision, but I just didn't have the guidance. I didn't have the direction.
Right.
And without that, you know, the pressure, because I'm making mistakes in real time, and I don't have nobody to call and get me out of it. I got to face the consequences, and, you know, it just makes it harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you think to like one of your biggest learning opportunities? Like, okay, this is something, well, like you learn from a big mistake. This is something that really got me in those days, and I got to bounce back from that. Because sometimes people will take advantage of us being naive. Like, man, they can point out the ones that haven't been here before, you know, in the early stages.
Oh my God. I can give you so many examples. I really, really could.
Yeah.
Because I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. Thank God I've been able to recover from all of them.
Absolutely.
But I definitely made a lot of mistakes. The number one thing that sticks out in my mind, not even a mistake, but just, you know, a moment where I realized, like, man, I got to get it together. I was in college, and you know, we didn't grow up learning about mental health. Like, what is that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You from Bertie County, North Carolina, specifically. Like, if you sad, you better go take a nap.
Right.
You better put some water on it and move on. Like, you better, you know what I'm saying? You better go outside and play about it. Like, move on, right? Nobody, even I could keep going, but either way, like, I didn't grow up really understanding what that was and how it could impact me and how to deal with it until, you know, I got away from home and I'm just out here on my own. I'm really learning myself and I'm growing in real time. And long story short, I went to a therapy session. And when I went to therapy, my therapist at the time, this is like my second session, he told me that, you know, I have like long-term depression or something. He had a term for it, but that was how he described it to me.
Right.
And I never went back. And after he told me that, it's just something that I could not accept and I wouldn't accept at the moment. And then it ended up catching up to me my senior year of college. And I got so overwhelmed from the pressure of, you know, trying to figure life out, take care of myself, you know, exceed all the things. And I withdrew. I was like, you know what, I'm going to just take a semester off. And I didn't tell nobody. I did everything, you know, in secret because I knew that would disappoint a lot of people to know that. It even disappointed me to have to make that decision. But it got to the point where, you know, I ended up never going back. And I think that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made because if I would have opened up about it earlier, what I was feeling, what I was going through, even like the symptoms of depression and all of that, the breakdowns, all of that. If I would have told somebody, I probably would have made better choices for myself sooner.
Right.
But because I was trying to keep that discreet, because I didn't want people to look at me different. I didn't want people to judge me or see me as less than capable. You know, I caused detriment to myself.
Yeah.
And I tried to, you know, keep it all in this small container, but it was bigger than the capacity of the container I was trying to keep it in.
Yeah.
And so, you know, not speaking up, being ashamed or being afraid of being judged, I think was probably the biggest mistake.
Yeah.
It set me back.
Yeah, and that happens to us. I mean, I went through something similar too. That's crazy. That is crazy. I actually left college my senior year too, because some crazy situation with a roommate I had. He left, but my sister co-signed for that place. So I'm like, yo, I cannot allow this to go.
Yeah.
So I got like 3 jobs to make sure I could handle all the bills by myself because he just dipped. And I'm like, yo, I can't go to school and do this. I was sleeping in the parking lot, just like, this is not gonna work. It's like, I'm gonna be failing everything. I'm gonna have to take a break. And when you take that break, oh my goodness, that break turned into something different. You know, you start working full time, all these hours, you start bringing in money. It's just hard to go back at it.
It's hard to go back.
So, you know, other people that's feeling that pressure similar to you, what would you say to them in that situation?
If you are experiencing a lot of pressure internally, my number one advice is seek counsel. If you can afford therapy, go to therapy. If you cannot afford therapy, Google free resources that are local to you because there are plenty. You'll be surprised. If you don't want to go to therapy because maybe you don't believe in it or, you know, it's just so foreign to you, find a friend. If you don't have a friend, write a letter, write about it just to get it out. The most important thing is to get it out of your head, get it out of your body, right? Because it's like a virus. Like you have to let it run its course, but at the same time, like if you can get it out, it's gonna be easier for you to heal. So my number one advice is, you know, get it out.
Yeah, much agreed.
Yeah.
Now, no, the term soft life or soft girl era kind of took social media by storm, you know? So, you know, like you were talking about earlier, some people think of it as luxury traveling, spa days, all those type of things. But your book implies like a deeply internal rescue mission. That's kind of what I gathered from it. How do you define the true soft life reset, and where do you think the internet got it wrong?
Ooh, okay. So yes, soft life definitely blew up like within the last few years as far as like that phrasing. And honestly, like I was inspired by it. You know, I loved what I thought it meant. So for me, the soft life is having grace. For me, like that's really, really the simplest way I can put it. Is having a grateful mindset, but a graceful mindset, right? Having grace for yourself and having grace for others. For me, is really what the soft life is all about, because duality exists in life. Like you're gonna
Yes.
have good days, you're gonna have bad days,
Right.
and it's easy to be soft on the good days because everything is going your way. But to be able to be in a space with yourself where you can cultivate grace for yourself or for others when the day is not so good, it helps keep your mind soft. It helps eliminate some of that pressure that may be building or recycling, you know, inside of your body, not even just your mind, just in your body. I think having a graceful mindset creates ease naturally in everything that you do and how you do things.
Right.
And also how you interpret things. Because, you know, we can get it wrong when we're operating from a place of aggression or pressure or negativity. Like we can misunderstand some things.
For sure. Be
Right.
impulsive.
So yeah, absolutely. So as much as, you know, the luxury trips and the nice cars and, you know, not being a stay at home, whatever, like all that is great. Love it. And I welcome it. I pray for it all. But ultimately, like for me, softness equals grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having that grace for yourself is so important, you know, because even when I was looking at your book overview, you were speaking about slowing down, healing gently, and reconnecting. You know, like in that circumstance with the college when you de-enrolled, maybe if you just slowed down a little bit, like didn't allow those pressures, you know, things wouldn't have popped where you had to push that button to eject. You know?
I wish, because I want to share something with you. Like, after I withdrew from college, you know, I got me some little jobs or whatever. And one job I worked at, this boss of mine, he shared something with me that I've always carried with me since that day. And just to kind of give you a little context, you know, I was told by a therapist that I'm battling, you know, this long-term depression thing. I never go back. So it's in my mind and I'm basically trying to like self-heal or self-regulate. So I'm doing research and all of these things. And I'm sad about that information one day at work. It's just kind of weighing on me. And my boss kind of pulls me to the side. He's like, you know, you're not yourself. I could tell something's going on, da 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 da. So he left me with this story that his therapist told him. And he was telling me, you know, imagine sitting in a chair just like this one. And you are in a big room. Let's picture ourselves in a warehouse, if you will.
Okay.
You're in a warehouse and it's just you and you're sitting in this chair and there's a ring of fire around the chair that you're sitting in. Now, naturally, the heat that you're feeling from the flames could spike your fight or flight, right? For anybody naturally. And the first natural reaction that somebody would have is to do what? Just guess.
What, try to run from the fire, put it out?
Get out the chair and run. But when you get out the chair and run, you have to run through the fire to get out.
Right.
So now at that moment, when you act impulsively and you make a decision impulsively, you actually put yourself in danger. Because you chose to impulsively get up and run through the fire, now you're on fire.
Right.
But if you would just calm down, have a little grace in this moment, Give yourself some space to think. You will realize I'm sitting in the chair. I'm not actually on fire. I just feel the heat from the flames. I'm okay.
Right. That's real.
That was big for me.
Yeah.
Right? Because going back to college, I wasn't actually on fire.
Right.
I just felt like I was because the heat from the flames was so intense. It made me feel like I was on fire. But if I would have just calmed down and not made that impulsive decision, everything would be different. I don't regret how it happened because, obviously God, he designed it all. It's already written. So I know its purpose in the direction that, I took. But if I would have known then what I know now, I wouldn't have made that impulsive decision.
Yeah.
I would have continued to grind it out, graduated, and Lord knows be where. But yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's people, you're not on fire, you're just feeling the heat. Slow it down. You know what I'm saying? Survey the circumstances before you make a decision, so that's so important. I think slowing down is important. And also you said healing gently. What does healing gently look like?
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to healing, healing is ugly. Healing is not pretty.
Right.
Healing does not feel good. But again, gently, again, grace. Right. So having grace for yourself as you're healing, feel all the things that need to be felt. Don't run from what you're feeling because feeling it is going to help you heal it.
Right.
When you try to run away from it and act like you don't feel anything, that's when the wound grows bigger. The void gets bigger.
Right.
So healing gently, it's just basically, having grace, allowing yourself to feel, owning how you feel. Don't try to rewrite how you feel just so you don't make other people feel uncomfortable or mad. Really own it.
Right.
I think that's probably the biggest struggle that I've had. And where I really had to learn how to heal gently is, it's okay for me to be honest and transparent about how I'm feeling.
Right.
And that's okay, no matter if it shakes the room or not.
Absolutely. I can tell you got that in practice. And how I can tell that, it's something so simple. When you come up them stairs, when you was coming up them stairs, you laughed at yourself as you were taking your time. You know what I mean? It's like, this knee hurt. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to take my time. And you even thought, like, you laughed about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so simple, but you got that in practice.
Because, one of my biggest, I hate to use the word fear, but for lack of better words, one of my biggest fears in life has always been losing my mobility, my agility, and my flexibility.
Right.
The day where I can no longer move around on my own accord, oh my God, go ahead and get my casket ready.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here no more.
Yeah.
For real.
I'm not used to that.
So, in all my life, I've been very rough. I grew up with a bunch of boys.
Right.
So, I've been very rough all my life with my body and, my ability to recover. I think now I really care about it more, because again, like think about a kid. When they come home from school, they hit the light switch. They think the lights is going to always come on.
Right.
When you hurt yourself as a kid, like you discover like, okay, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to heal. I can bounce back quicker, but you don't bounce back that quick at this age.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I hurt my knee back in March, I have not been the same since, and it's really bothering me. And I really am feeling a lot of negative feelings behind it, but I learned, again, I have to give myself some grace.
Yes.
So I love to laugh, so I got to laugh. I got to turn it into a joke to keep me from crying because I can't believe I'm so stiff right now. Like, this is like, it's blowing my mind. Like, getting older is nothing to play with.
Right. And again, something important, 2 words you just said, right now.
Yeah.
This is temporary.
It's temporary.
But you got to allow yourself to heal softly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that takes a little time.
So I'm going to still wear my heels, even though my knee hurt.
Exactly.
But I'm going to just walk a little slow.
There you
and
go.
then I'm gonna laugh about it.
Right. See, that's that duality you were talking about.
See, you gotta have that skill.
Right.
If you can cultivate that skill, and you will learn like this is a transferable skill. I can apply this skill to any situation or anybody on any day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And for me, like it just helps me keep the stress down.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the pressure away.
Yeah, I agree.
That was good. I can't believe you.
I had to talk about that because that was just so funny.
No, for real. I'm turning into a full-blown auntie.
That is hilarious. And it's
Shout out
all
to my
right.
aunties.
Yeah, big salute to y'all out there. You know, I'm an unk. I'm a proud unk.
Me too. I'm a proud auntie.
Yeah. So, no, that's kind of like talk about how, you know, the healing doesn't have to be heavy.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I was talking about how the power of a woman is naturally femininity. Mm-hmm. But it feels like there has been a shift to where many have moved away from that process. Can you explain the power behind your feminine?
Yeah, you know, first of all, I do want to address like, you know, I think that because the soft life has this material aesthetic around it, that people, you know, kind of misconceptualize what it is. Or if they're not doing that, maybe they're just thinking about it, you know, too linear.
Yeah.
Right? Like it doesn't just mean, you know, again,
right,
the fabulous things in life.
Right.
Right? Again, like it is truly a mindset. And what was the second part of the question? I'm sorry.
You know, just that power behind the feminine. It kind of made me, when you said that it's not linear, because like some pressures of me as a man is wanting to make sure that I'm successful, you know, and I have that financial stability. But that's just the pretty part of it. In order to get that, it's a lot of work under the what people are not seeing. You know what I'm saying? And that's so much similar to what I feel like the power of a woman's femininity. Yes, it's pretty and soft and beautiful on that surface level, but you had to go through some things to be able to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Like, think about it. Have you ever, which I'm pretty sure you've experienced this, meeting a beautiful woman with a ugly attitude?
Ooh, yeah.
Right? So yeah, she may have the aesthetic of softness. Maybe she drives a luxury car. She always travels. She looks, you know, keeps herself up. Maybe she has that aesthetic.
Right.
But internally, she hard as bricks.
Yeah.
But she's mean.
Right.
And she's negative. And she doesn't give anybody grace.
Right.
And you know, she's self-centered to the point to where she only sees herself, and she never considers how you know she impacts the room when she walks in.
Right.
Right. And so I never wanted to be that woman. I never wanted to look the part and not be it.
Right.
That's why I thought creating a book would be important, because this is something physical that, you know, I can extend to women to, you know, guide them to a place where they're the beauty that they have and the softness that they have on the inside, it translates to everything that they touch on the outside. Because I remember you asking, like, what does the power of femininity mean to me? It means everything. Honestly. Like, I believe that, you know, women are the closest thing to God. Honestly, like, he gave us the power to bring life through our vessel. Right. And with that being said, like, there's femininity wrapped up in that. It's ordained.
Absolutely.
It's an ordained power and frequency that you were born with, but you have to learn how to unlock it. And when you do, you know, again, I believe that you're in alignment, in full alignment at that point.
Right.
Your discernment is on point. Your intuition and your intention is exactly where it needs to be. Because, you know, being her is just basically operating as the highest version of yourself.
I was wondering. I was curious about that.
That's what it is. To be her, like when I say, oh, you her, I look at you like, yeah, you really moving at the high, like at your highest capacity. I love to see it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I noticed that you, in the book, it says something about alignment over everything. Can you give insight on what that means and what are you aligning with?
There we go.
Yeah.
Alignment over approval.
Ooh, alignment over approval.
Peace over pressure, and her over everything.
Let's talk to that.
Let's talk about it. So,
alignment over approval.
Alignment over approval. Absolutely. Like, outer influences may try to groom you to be a certain way or do a certain thing, show up a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But what if that's not what's best for you?
Right.
What if, something else is better for you? And only you know what's best for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what that is, we are going to listen to our internal voice versus outer influences.
Right.
That's alignment over approval. I am going to care more about how I feel about this and what I think about my decisions over the reaction that I'm getting.
Ooh.
Right? Like posting on social media. I don't care what the algorithm got going on. Yeah, I might have only got 2 likes and I deserve 2,000. But guess what? I'm going to go with alignment. I want to post this picture. I'm going to post it and I'm going to keep it up and I'm going to feel good about it even if it has 2 likes.
Ah, right.
I didn't get the approval of the 2,000 likes that I feel like I deserve, but I'm still going to honor myself and believe in, what I created, and I'm going to keep that frequency of being proud, in my body, in my vessel, and I'm going to keep it up.
Right.
Yeah. Alignment over approval, because there are so much information being circulated so quickly these days. And that makes it, easy for people to pivot. And there's nothing wrong with pivots. Pivots can be very powerful. But you should never pivot off of, not getting the approval that you wanted from somebody.
Yeah. Don't pivot out of pressures, outside pressures.
I love that. Don't pivot. Ooh, don't pivot out of pressure. Don't pivot out of pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Dang. That's what I'm gathering from that.
Yes.
And so when you talk
pivot
about
out of alignment.
Yeah.
Because you know better. Not because they look better than me. Dang.
Right.
Let me abandon my idea, my creativity, my vision because I need to fit in and look like that so I can get this result. No.
Yeah.
No. Just because that person did this and they got that result, you could do the same thing and it not work out the same.
Absolutely.
That's why alignment is important. And that's why it needs to be over approval.
Yeah. So this alignment, is it alignment with her? Is it alignment with yourself, what you truly want?
Alignment with the highest version of yourself. That should be, like, if you are growth oriented, if you are, trying to transform your life, you should always reverse engineer everything you do from the highest version or whatever the pinnacle you're trying to reach. What would she be doing? How would she start her morning? How would she cook her breakfast? How would she keep her car? How would she, respond to her friend group? Who is she in her friend group? Right. Who is she at work? How does she show up? How does she leave that place? Right. I want to start thinking about what that looks like. And then I'm going to take everything that I feel like she would do. And then I'm going to start to do it right now in real time.
Right.
And then some people call that quantum leaping. And that's what I mean. Like, you're already her.
Right.
You're already her. You're already that person. It's just aligning your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, your decisions, your environment, your intake, your output, aligning it with that highest version of you that you know that you are. Yeah. And you got to know that you are her already, or else you wouldn't be striving to get there. Yeah. You would be content with where you are.
Exactly. So true. It brings you back to sitting in that chair with that fire around you. Don't go off impulse. Think what would she do?
Right? The highest version of me.
Ooh, yeah.
She would not get up and run and put herself on fire.
Right.
She would sit there and she would realize, well, this fire can't last forever. These flames got to go out at some point, so I'm just going to sit here with my legs crossed. And I'm just going to watch the fire. I'm going to watch it burn.
Right.
I'm going to pray about this. I'm going to reflect. Or I'm going to sing a song. I'm going to draw a picture, whatever it is, but I'm going to stay right here.
Right.
Because this situation doesn't really cause for me to move just yet.
Exactly.
If I move too soon, I'm going to put myself in actual detriment.
Absolutely. So true. Now, also you speak on to her over everything. Can you explain what this means? Because some people might think this means selfishness, or is that the initial thought to remember it is important to be selfish as well? What does that mean?
I think it is important to be selfish to a degree.
Right.
But I think every single person on this earth should be selfish to a degree. I think it's warranted because first of all, like your first responsibility is yourself.
Right.
It's just like when you're on an airplane, right? Have you flew anywhere lately?
Not lately.
Okay, don't worry about it. But I know you've been on an airplane.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Plenty.
So think about being on an airplane, right? And they're going through all the instructions and the emergency exit is on your right. And make sure you keep your... And when your oxygen mask comes down, make sure you put your mask on first before you help the person next to you. Her over everything.
Right.
I got to make sure my oxygen mask is on first. So that I am, in the best space to help you.
Right.
Right? I can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
So she has to fill her cup up first so that what she's pouring out is of quality.
Absolutely.
And that is, sustainable. Right? And so in order to do that, she has to put herself above everything. Not to the point to where nothing else matters. That's not right.
Right.
And that's not soft. But to the point to where she can be valuable, where she can operate at her full capacity, where she can really show up and serve her divine purpose. In order to do that, you have to take care of yourself first.
Yeah, for sure.
And men too.
Yeah.
Honestly, I learned that from men. They real selfish.
What?
Oh my God. I need to, oh Lord, hold on.
Did you just say that?
Oh,
In what ways?
Is this thing on?
What did you interpret from men being selfish where you feel like, okay, I need to implement this in my life to help me in my soft era?
I like it. It don't always feel good when you on the short end of the stick.
What did that look like?
So, I could go on and on, but just to keep it short. Just to keep it short. Like, in my opinion, men are selfish. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I have met men that refuse to do anything outside of what they plan because they have a specific outcome they need to see happen. They have a goal that they want to reach. I've seen that, and I admire it. I really admire it from the men that I've seen that from. Now, obviously, there's some people, who may do it in a negative way. I'm not talking about them.
Right.
I'm talking about men who have really showed me that selfishness is self-love. And it's self-care. You have to have boundaries. Right? In this life. If you don't have any, I encourage you to get some. And in order to, sustain those boundaries or really, live into the boundaries, you got to be a little selfish. You have to be very much hooked on you, what you need, what you want, what you desire, what your vision is. And if those, outer things don't align with it, if it doesn't contribute to it, if it doesn't support it, then yeah, I'm going to have to be selfish and, make a decision that is self-based.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. And I think with men, especially like the ones that are positive, we forecast the future a lot. I think women are great at understanding now better than us, the impact of now. Men are destination prone a lot. So I have to do this to get to where I want us to go. And it's part of it is selfish because I want to be there, but I also want to bring my family with me, those I care about with me. They might not understand the vision, understand what I have to do to get there, but I can't go off the path because I won't never get there if I do. So a lot of men it'll come across as like, okay, he's being extremely selfish right now. He's not hearing the way I feel at the moment, but like, yo, I have to get us there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how I feel in a lot of situations too, because, I still work full time and I still do this thing, a wife at home with the kids right now. Yeah, you would like me to be there. I understand that. But I have to do this because I have a vision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
I cannot allow this to delay the vision. Now, when I come back home, I'm going to try my best to make up for that time when I was gone. Yep. But I got to go. Yep. I'm sorry. You know the man you married. Baby, Alexa, I got to go. Trey songs, I got to go. I got to go. You know, because like I already know like from my actions right now, it may not be paying off in the most extreme way currently, but I understand if I made a few hundred from that. See, I know I can make a few thousand from that. I know I can make a few. You know, it's just gonna absolutely keep going. So it's kind of like
I respect that from men, right? Like I said, you know, it may not always feel good in the moment when you're being told, you know, not right now or no altogether. Mm-hmm. But you know, at the same time, like men, in my opinion, they have a very linear way of thinking. It's like tunnel vision. For the most part, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, women, you know, like they say, women come along and multiply the vision, right? So we have this dynamic vision where we're naturally are looking at all different, you know, sides of the spectrum so that we can multiply this thing. But sometimes, especially when you're in a season of transformation, when you're in a season of elevation, I like to take a page out of the men's book and have that tunnel vision. Mm-hmm. You know, have that laser focus and don't let anything outside of that interfere because I have the vision. Right. And the people that love me and care about me and support me, they will have grace for me. Exactly. Right. And they will give me that space and that time and that grace to, you know, figure it out. Mm-hmm. And to your point, once I figure it out, I'm going to do everything in my power to, you know, make up. Yeah, for sure. What was lost, but in this moment, in this season, I have to lock in on me. Yeah, for sure. So that's her above everything. Yeah. And shout out to the men. I got that from you.
Yeah, I understand that when it comes to that type of selfishness, it is important for you to put yourself first because like you said, you can't pour from an empty cup. Right. You know, I can't be at my strongest, you know, if I just allow this world to deplete me so much. Right. I'm like, I'm gonna have to, you know, also when being selfish, you got to cut off certain people that's, you know, depleting from your life. Like, okay, this is a stressor. This person's not going the direction that I'm going. Yeah. You know, it's nothing personal. I don't feel no way about you negatively. I just know like, okay, from where I'm going right now, they're just going to slow me down. Yeah. And that's cool.
Like it's so necessary to be able to identify what those factors are that drain you. So that you can put your boundaries up, right? I'm not saying I can't ever talk to you, but maybe I can't talk to you as much. Right. I can't say, I'm not going to say I can't ever, you know, eat chocolate, but I can't eat it as much. I got to have some boundaries. I got to be a little selfish.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You know, sometimes people from the outside looking in, they'll think, you know, everything's is perfect. You know, they say you come in here with you're looking fly, you got the shades on to match the boots. She in here doing a thing, you know. So people can just like, okay, you know, everything's running perfect with Brittany, you know. So what are some of those silent, not cries, but kind of like silent symptoms where, okay, a woman probably should take this shift to the soft girl? Like, what are some of those silent symptoms when you was having that hard life, the where you like it looks perfect on the outside, but
you got some good questions. The first one I think of is regressing. In particular, socially regressing. If this is somebody who, you know, is naturally social. Right. If they start to pick up the phone less and less, respond less and less, if they're, you know, asking you more about you and kind of deflecting from them. Ooh. To me, that's the number one sign because that's my number one symptom. Yeah. When I get like that, like I know I'm not being soft on myself. I'm being way too hard on myself because I don't want to be around people, especially people that love me and want to see me. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Something about me is I'm not feeling good enough. I'm not feeling up to par. I'm being drained somewhere, so I got to soften up. Mm-hmm. I got to figure out where's that, you know, that spot in life where I need to soften so I can build myself up to be social again.
Right.
Or to answer the phone or whatever, right? Because when I'm not answering my phone, when I'm not texting back, and it's normally because I'm being hard on myself right now. I'm beating myself up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to expose you to that because maybe you're having a fantastic day.
Right.
I don't want to come bringing my drama to you and ruin your fantastic energy. So me and just the type of person I am, my symptom is I'll get off the grid.
Right.
And yeah, I think another one could be the opposite. It could be people overperforming, overgiving,
right,
over-explaining.
Yep.
Right? Because at that point, you may be trying to please others more than honor yourself.
Absolutely.
That would be a symptom as well, in my opinion. I would also say when your closet looks a mess, your bathroom, or your car.
Right.
When my closet start looking a mess, I'm being hard on myself. I'm not keeping myself together. I'm not staying organized because the highest version of me, she's organized. She puts things back where they belong. She doesn't leave a mess. She doesn't like that chaos in her environment because she understands how it affects her mindset and her decision making. Because her environment is a reflection of her mind. So if her environment starts to look all out of sorts, not clean, messy, whatever, yeah, she probably needs to take a step back and soften up because she's putting some pressure on herself somewhere to where now she doesn't have the confidence or the willpower to complete necessary tasks like cleaning up.
Right. Yeah. So true.
Yeah, I would definitely say those would be my top two for sure.
Well, let me ask you this, because with the conditioning of that hard life, I wanted to ask you, okay, so what are some of the main conditioning things that women may have to unlearn during this 33-day journey? Because a lot of times we are taught certain things, but I had to unlearn a lot from growing up. Anything you can think of that kind of felt like, okay, this is conditioning you have to unlearn to be on this soft life journey?
That's a good one. Before I answer that, I thought of my third one.
Okay.
If she's being hyper independent, then she might need to soften up a little bit.
Right.
Because you probably have been disappointed a lot in your life to where you shut people out or you don't allow them to help you or you don't know how to receive from others. And I would say if you start to get like that, that could be a symptom too. But to your question, what are some characteristics that women may need to unlearn to achieve softness? Oh man, that is such a good one. Listen, ladies, we need to learn. I know the question was, what do we need to unlearn? But we need to learn accountability.
Ooh. Whoa. Is this word coming out of your mouth?
Yes. Yes. I think, wait, so what would be the opposite?
You're blaming someone else all the time if you're not being accountable.
Yeah. Like
it's never your fault.
We have to learn how to take accountability. We have to stop blaming, outer elements as to, why what is what. Right. I think women definitely could take a little bit more of an accountability approach. And if they were open to that, then that could help them be a little bit more softer.
Right.
Because, in order to be soft, you have to be self-aware and you have to be able to identify, like, where am I contributing in this and what happens? What is the result of my contributions?
Right.
What impact do I leave, when I come across people's paths or when I enter certain rooms?
Right.
I think, I just hear a lot of women just always blame. But, when you really learn how to take that accountability and take ownership, then softness comes from that.
Absolutely.
Something else I would say. Oof, I feel like I just get some backlash for that.
You might.
It's true though. It's true. Like
why sometimes, like, when I hear women speaking about accountability, the ones that are on the other side, they'll say that you a pick me because you're saying a woman should take accountability.
She should. I think You know, when women are raised as little girls, right? Like you're raised with a certain way of thinking,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, even if you're being programmed through media. Like, this is going to be a little conflicting.
Mm-hmm.
So like basically what I'm trying to avoid saying is, I believe that some women develop a victim mentality, a victim
Yeah,
mindset,
happens.
just from, being the thought of being catered and courted and dainty and a damsel in distress, and all
Right.
these things. Like, it is, they want us to be soft, yes, but not soft to the point where you don't have no accountability.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, oh my God, I didn't know I had the aluminum foil in the microwave. Like,
Yeah.
girl, you about to burn the whole house.
Yeah. Like, sometimes people get to the point where you act like you should treat a woman like a child.
Yeah, or like certain women, like, if he take me to Cheesecake Factory, that's not a date. That's,
Oh, wow.
like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, I know you want to be on this pedestal, as you should,
Mm-hmm.
but you still need to have some accountability.
Right.
Even if you are gonna put yourself up there. So if somebody is taking you, on a date to Ruby Tuesdays because
Mm-hmm.
that's all that they can afford for you, like, it doesn't mean that he's lowering your
Right.
pedestal. Like, be soft, have some grace, and open yourself up to still have a good time.
Right.
Don't dog the effort. The
Right.
same effort that you crying that you want. When
Yeah.
you got it, you don't know how to value it because,
Yeah. Absolutely.
whatever. Like,
I done been to some high-end restaurants, and Texas Roadhouse ribs was much better.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's don't like people get so caught up in these darn names. He might have just went there because that's what he liked to eat.
Yes, like, I just feel like women nowadays, like, their standards can just be a little bit out of whack.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if they're not already moving like that behind themselves. For you to
Mhm.
have that sort of a demand on a man,
Yeah.
it can be a little crazy, and you might want to relax a little bit. You might want to
Yeah.
soften up,
Yeah.
humble yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Because I just seen you in McDonald's drive-thru on Wednesday getting a McChicken.
Not the McChicken.
Yeah, I just seen you with a McChicken, no fries, just a McChicken, but you complaining about Cheesecake Factory. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be happy somebody took you on a date.
Yeah. Yeah. Being grateful, applying that grace, it's so important.
Yeah.
What do you feel like once you get to that final version of her?
Well, I ain't dead.
Right.
I wouldn't know.
You on a journey. Yeah.
It's a lifelong journey, right? When you get to that final stage, you probably finna go to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, like, for me, I am, again, I'm moving with grace. I'm moving with intention and with clarity. I'm honoring my word.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being impeccable with my word. Everything that I said I was going to do, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
That's one of the best feelings in the world, because when I'm doing that, like, I'm really locked in on me. I'm really, like, showing up for me, and that matters.
Absolutely.
It absolutely matters. I would say, also, like, when you just take pride in your appearance, not even that you have to, look the best or dress the best, but, get up and get yourself together.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and keep yourself together. Even if it's just a white tee and some leggings. Like, that's fine, but make sure it's clean.
Right.
Right? Make sure you look presentable. Like, you always want to make a good impression, no matter where you are, no matter where you go, because you never know what opportunities may be waiting for you.
Absolutely.
Right? And let's be clear, like, we live in a very aesthetic driven society. And again, I'm not saying that you got to be, dressed to the nines all the time, but again, just care enough about yourself to show up as the best version of yourself.
Mhm.
Whether it's the chill version, the dressy version, the working version, or the serving version. It doesn't matter. Like, just always love and care about yourself enough to want to show up as your best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those things will definitely have you feeling like her.
Yeah, for sure. And that's crazy. It kind of made me think about, because sometimes my old lady, she'll get her little makeup on, put her clothes on, come downstairs. I was like, oh, where you about to go? She's like, I ain't going nowhere. I just felt like being cute.
Yeah.
You know, just being that for, she was doing that for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, all right, I respect that. You know, it wasn't even about me.
No.
She didn't say I was being cute for you.
Yes.
She said she just felt like being cute.
She loves herself.
You know what I mean? And that's so important.
Man, like, shout out to her. She gets it.
Yeah.
She gets it and she's living it. And that's just so beautiful to see. Especially for me because, you know, going back to my childhood, like my mom worked a lot. And my mom did not dress up.
Right.
Like, you know, she comfortable all day because she been working all day.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But I do remember a time when my mom did dress up. And I remember, you know, just her aura.
Yeah.
You know, and so I seen the difference. And, you know, obviously it's my mom. I grew up with you. I know what's going on. I know what's causing that light to dim.
Right.
Right. And at that point, you know, I decided, you know, I always want to just put forth the energy and the effort into me. I never want to let anything kind of take that away from me, take my light away from me. Because you're not the same. Right. And so women who just get dressed up every day, just, you know, to feel good, to, you know, show up as the best version of themselves, like that's her.
Right.
That is truly her. Like, and if she loves herself to that degree, imagine how she's going to love you.
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly. And that's that putting yourself first type of thing. You're not saying your family's not important, but heck, if I'm not in the best place, I can't be there at my strongest for my family.
Exactly.
You know, that's so real. So how can people actually get the book and also follow what you got going on?
Yes, absolutely. So right now, the Soft Life Reset, a 33-day journey back to her by Brittany Janele Garcia is exclusively on Amazon. So you can go on Amazon and just type in the Soft Life Reset and you will see my book. It is the first one. Shout out to me. And be careful because there are some books up there with dangerously similar titles. So make sure you're getting the one that says by Brittany Janele Garcia. Okay. The one that says it's a 33-day journey and not a 30-day journey. But shout out to those authors as well. So yeah, you can go on Amazon and get the book, or I just had some physical copies arrive yesterday. So, you know, if you're local to Charlotte, you can hit me up in my DM at brittany.janelle, and I will meet up with you and we can exchange in person. And then also follow at houseofher.era on all platforms. That is the flagship for the Soft Life Reset. That's basically the women-centric brand that I started, and I plan to expand it with all of these different modalities to just help women reclaim, recenter, reset, and just, you know, return home to the best version of themselves.
Absolutely. I love that. Make sure all of you follow what she got going on. I love her journey. I love what she got going on. Love her message. And I think it's real. So, you know, make sure you do that. So until next time, you guys hold it down. Don't let it hold you.
Oh.
Peace.
Peace. Tell a friend, and come on in.
You dig?
The Highest Point Podcast.
More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.